Hi and welcome, legends. Welcome, chart artists. Let's see if I don't, Johan. Let me put that off. Hope you can all hear me. Hope the mic sound is good. Yesterday was quite a good live stream. Yes, I yacht on some nonsense over there where I spoke for a while without sharing my screen. Hopefully that will not happen today. Okay. How are you all doing? Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Let's go through Bitcoin. Let's analyze some of the altcoins. And I have added 3 more alts to my spot bag. Okay, and I'm thinking of adding a 4th. Right, let's go through those. And and some of you might have these already in your spot bags, and I'm just a little bit late to the party, but I'm going to share them. If you know of anything else that I am missing, please share the alpha down in the comments. Let's go through it. And let me just see. It looks like everything is ready to rock and roll. Hello, Devold, Dario Capo, or Capte. Hi, thanks. I see you. I will be focusing on the comments, so please ask away. Share the knowledge, share the love. Ask me anything you would like me to go through. And let's share my screen before I start diving into the charts and you guys don't see anything. Okay. Right, first things first, let's go through Bitcoin over here. Okay, some choppy action here to the upside. Not really bullish like this momentum here. But what I am currently watching, okay, is potentially an ending diagonal. An ending, what they refer to as a ending contracting diagonal. And for those of you that do know patterns very well, you will know that any pattern that runs to the upside, whether it's a flag, whether it's a diagonal, whether it's an expanding trumpet, and the list goes on. Anything moving upwards has a higher probability of breaking down. Okay, price moves in, it breaks down, price moves in, it breaks down. And this could also be the case with this contracting diagonal, which they also refer to in Elliott wave theory as a ending contracting diagonal, which is far more common than an expanding diagonal, where you could potentially look at this as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then when the 5th wave ends, that is usually when you then see the breakout. Okay. To go and form a C wave to the downside. Right, I'm not saying this is guaranteed. It's just something that I'm keeping an eye on. It does balance nicely. The pivots touch nice. And yeah, so far, so good. I also don't see an insane amount of green volume kicking in at the moment. And what is interesting about, well, any Elliott wave is that when you have an Elliott wave or 5 waves to the upside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your 3rd wave always has the most amount of volume, as can be seen over here. Green volume, that is. Okay, if it's moving to the downside, obviously it will be red volume. So that is a little bit interesting to me. So when we make the 5th wave here to the upside, or we finish the 5th wave here to the upside as a potential scenario, you want to see the 5th wave finish with lower volume than the 3rd wave. That is then a clue that you are moving higher and you are using less volume. You're potentially creating bearish divergence for those of you that trade those things. And we could see a smackdown here, back down to claim the lows over here. Right. So that is definitely a scenario that I'm keeping in mind. Also, I see some people are saying, well, the 5th wave is already in, okay, where this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And this wave that we're forming now is an A, B, C to the downside. Definitely a possibility. I just don't like this structure over here to be a 5th wave. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It looks like this is still part of a corrective structure over here. And this is potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here to the upside. Right. And for those of you that watched my YouTube update today, I'm not sure if anyone watched my YouTube earlier this morning, where I spoke about 3 harmonics that I'm keeping an eye on. Okay, and harmonic patterns are also known as reversal patterns. And just to briefly go through that again, okay, just still keeping this structure in mind, is that we are still not out of the danger zone yet, where this could still be an A, B, C to the downside, where we're even going to come and claim this low here at the bottom. Right. Where the harmonics that I'm currently watching, just to refresh everyone, okay, is 3. I've got this is the crab. Then I've got, I can't remember, that's the, which one is that? I'll go look for the name now, but also an harmonic where we're going to hit the 1.618, which is still bullish. That is very far from the highs. And I mean, this will create insane bullish momentum to the upside, only to then tumble down to come and claim the A and the C point. And the one that we are at right now that could still potentially play out is this one. Okay. The Gartley. Like they refer to this harmonic as the Gartley. And harmonic are also reversal patterns, and you find them often. You cannot believe how often you find them on the 1 minute, on the 3 minute chart, 5 minutes, 1 hour, daily, weekly. You find them everywhere. Okay. And they are also known as reversal patterns. So if this harmonic had to play out, okay, where you have a nice it looks like a butterfly with the wings, nice butterfly pattern over here. Okay. For those of you that are not aware of them, go do some research. They are really powerful, or just stay tuned here and I'll tell you all about them. Okay. It's also, when you go to your indicators, you'll see it's over here, the first one, A, B, C, D, E, or A, B, C, D. Okay. X, A, B, C, D. So it's not the ABCs, it's just the X, A, B, C, Ds. Right. First one over there, and then you can go and draw nice little harmonics. And you get different ones. Let me show you guys over here. Let me make this a little bit smaller. Let me see if I can find it for you guys here. Where's that folder? Let's open it here. Right. I want to show you guys the picture of that. Let me do this. Okay, found it. Right. Let me just drag it in here. These are the different harmonics that you get from an educational perspective. Okay, let me make it a little bit bigger. Right, and each harmonic has rules that it needs to follow. Okay, and I don't see any comments. Is my comments working today? I don't see guys chatting. Hope you're all having a good time. Just let me know in the comments if it's all good, if I can continue, if there's any issues. Right, let's go. So you get a crab, okay, you get a butterfly, you get a bat, you get a Gartley, and a CY. Okay, the CY I have rarely seen played out, but the Gartleys are very famous, especially in the price of Bitcoin. Okay, good stuff. Cool. Yes, good stuff. Let's go. Right. So the ones that I've personally seen play out the most inside of the price of Bitcoin is the Gartley. Number one, you see it play out often, and they are not always exact and perfect. They kind of, you know, it's the market doesn't always give you exactly what you want to see. You have to kind of like figure it out, okay? And then the second most famous one is the bat that I've seen play out a lot, and then you get the crab and the butterfly. I have seen them, but not a lot. Okay. Cool. So the first one on the list is here, the Gartley. So you'll see that it has rules. It has a X, A, C, D point that I've just highlighted here. And this is the bullish one, and this is the bearish one. The levels are exactly the same. They just flipped around. Okay. So the rule for the Gartley is, just purely from an education perspective, is that when you have a leg up and you have the move down, it has to be at the 618 area from a Fibonacci perspective. Okay, and then you make a lower high, right? And that lower high has to be between the 382 and the 886. So you see it has little rules over here, okay? And then when you come down, so you make a lower high and you come down, this pivot needs to be at the 786, okay? And then vice versa. So let me go and show you guys. Let's take this out, make this nice and big again. Okay, so you can see we came down. This is now my A point. And then this point is supposed to be by the 618. But Gartley's, you give it some room, you know, between the 50% and 618, I've often seen them play out. You can see why it's not exactly perfect, but it's good enough. For me, it's between the 618 and the 50% fib level. So it's good enough. It's valid, right? Then the C point is higher than A point. It has to be higher than A point, and it has to be between the 0 point. Let's grab this again. Let me show you. Okay. C point has to be, let's go. Between the 382 and the 886. Okay. C point is between the 886 and the 382. So that matches. Perfect. Right. Then D point is at the 1.537. Let's see what it says over here. Between 1.27 and 1.618. So it's nice inside of that range. That is a range that they give you. It doesn't have to be 1.27 or 1.618. It has to be inside of that range. So between 1.2 and 1.6, and you can see we are inside of that range, 1.5. And then the D point has to be at around about the 786 level from this Fibonacci perspective, taken from the high to the low. Okay, I'm trying to explain this as simply as I possibly can. Right, this is then considered a Gartley. And what is also important about the Gartley, you can see that most of the candles over here are wicks. So you want to see, actually what you want to see over here is the consolidation needs to be around the 0.78 level. It's not an exact science like it has to be exactly at that level, and if it wicks above, it's invalidated. No, you know, like I said, price action is not perfect. It has to be more or less, look nice, balance out, and that's the other thing I want to mention is that time also plays an important role. Is that when you measure from a time fib perspective, if I do this, take my time fib from X to the B point, which is the middle of the pattern, you typically want to see this wing balance with this wing. But even the 1.618 over here, if you guys can see that over here, is still fine. Okay, you just don't want a 2 extension and then it invalidates the pattern. But the best pattern from a balance perspective is that you want the correction to start playing out at the 1-to-1 ratio over here. Okay, and we are now a little bit further away already. So, but it's still fine. Even before the 1.236, maximum 1.618 is when you want to see the pattern start playing out. Okay. If the pattern starts doing this and this and this, and it goes past the 618, okay, it means that it's potentially being invalidated, and then you need to look for something else. So purely from an education perspective, I hope it makes sense, teaching you guys how you trade harmonic patterns, and there are very successful traders that use harmonic patterns on a daily basis, including our Legends community in Discord. If you want to join the Legends community, the link is down in the description, 25% discount. Right, so, and once you start training your eyes to see these patterns, you can't unsee them. It's like you almost see them everywhere. Okay, so this is the Gartley that I am still watching for now, that still has a potential to play out, where it in fact coincides with a corrective structure, where you also have from an Elliott wave perspective an A, B, C to the downside. And the other Gartley that I'm going to show you also has an A, B by the 0.88, and then it falls down. And then obviously the most bullish one is not really an ABC, but it's a higher 1-to-1 or 1.618 ratio, and then it falls down. Okay, so let's take the scribble out. This is basically the Gartley that I'm watching right now that could potentially still play out. Okay. We are really, and the one thing that I am noticing is we are really struggling to break through the 0.786 level. Okay, we're really struggling to break through here. The one thing that does look bullish at the moment is you will see that I have a daily level over here. Okay, there's a fresh daily level that printed yesterday, and we broke through that daily. Let me just zoom in here, show everyone. We broke through this daily with a solid closing candle above the daily, which equals bullish momentum to the upside, okay, which we got today. So as soon as I saw this closing candle above the daily, okay, which should have acted as resistance, but we broke resistance and we flipped it into support, we got continuation here to the upside. But we are still struggling with the 0.786 level. So there is still a possibility that we can lose this level and lose the trend. Okay. So for me to turn bearish and to place a short to the downside from a 15 or 1 hour time frame perspective is that I want to see us lose this support over here, which will mean that we are losing the daily as well as support, because often what happens is price comes back down and it wicks below the daily and people think we're going to fall down, and it gets support back up, and it wicks below and we get support back up, and then you have a nice little double bottom over there, and then price just rips back to the upside. So I want to see us lose this support. I want to see us break down with high volume, retest the scene of the crime, and then a minimum target for a profit-taking area for the Gartley is around the 0.382, or the better way to measure it is that you take a fib from C point to wherever the D point is going to end. That is the highest pivot we have right now, is at the 618, okay, which you'll see is in confluence with the 382. I always just use the 382 because I know when I measure the moves, it usually ends up here by the 382. So I don't even have to measure the fib from this bottom to this top. I just know that the bigger fib is the 618 is generally by the 382. Okay. Hope that makes sense. Let's just clean this up a little bit. Okay, so for me to turn bearish, I want to see us lose the support. Okay, breakdown with nice little selling pressure, like a nice little red candle kicking in there, or in my case, a purple candle. You could literally just waterfall down, or you break down, you retest the scene of the crime, you retest the support as resistance. So you're flipping support into resistance, and then you find continuation here to the downside. This is considered TP1 for the scenario to play out, and then TP2 and TP3. Okay. Often what happens with the harmonics is that you tap the 0.618 level or the 0.832, and then you get continuation to the upside. And this is why this is regarded as the first TP zone, and a lot of harmonic traders will take all of their profits over here. Okay, I like to leave some of the position open. I will take about 50-60% profit over here, and I'll leave some of the position open to at least come and claim the C point as well, which means that if we lose the 382, we could come down to this daily level over here, which is in confluence with the C point. Okay. Right. Let me go through the comments. Yeah, how everyone's doing. Hope you guys understand it. For those of you that have been following Andy for a while, I know I've got a lot of community members here that are following Andy as well. You would have seen Andy speak about harmonic patterns in quite detail as well. Ken Marsh, good stuff. Yes. Dario Kappa, all good. Cool, man. Dario Kappa, I'm listening and learning. Thanks a lot. It's only a pleasure. I love to educate. I sometimes get into trouble because I overshare the secrets of being a successful trader. But I don't mind. I want you guys to be successful. I want everyone to make money. I want everyone to be successful, potentially leave your 9 to 5, become a full-time trader, work for yourself. That would be absolutely fantastic. Right. Hope you're good. Would really appreciate a detailed analysis on Ocean Protocol and its potential merge. Oh, I actually saw your comment on one of my YouTube videos. I didn't have time to do full research on it. My researcher did send me a little bit of info, but we can go and analyze. I think the least that I can do is go and analyze the price of Ocean for you and see what is happening over there. Right. I did see that article where they spoke about AGIX and FET. I think FET is how you say it in the coming weeks. Right. Just entered. Raw. Right, I hope you entered with good risk management. Okay, I just want to quickly have a squiz at CVD. Let's do CVD here quick. CVD, guys, is extremely powerful. I cannot explain to you guys how powerful it is when you trade and use CVD to determine whether price is going to fall down or continue momentum to the upside. I already spot bullish CVD. Okay. I'll zoom in now, but between these two pivots and yellow, I already spot bullish CVD, not on blue as yet. I like double confirmations. If we can get bullish CVD on blue as yet, it means the target is this high over here. Right, so potentially we're going to come claim this high. That's how you play CVD. You spot bullish CVD, you enter, stop below the low, you target the high, you exit. Okay, that's how as simple it is, unless if price falls down and it takes the low, the bullish CVD is invalidated. Right. Also, good risk management. Don't risk more than what you can afford to lose. Okay, but for the moment, it looks a little bit bullish. Okay, but it's not to say that we can't fall down from here, because I only see bullish CVD on yellow. I don't see it on blue just as yet. But it's almost there. It's almost there. You can see this pivot, or this pivot over here. Let's see. Ooh, with this pivot, we already formed bullish CVD on blue. You can see lower low on CVD and higher low over here on CVD, both on yellow and blue. Price moving up. So there is a possibility of us coming to claim this high. That is the target. It's not to say we're going to do this. It's to say that we're going to at least claim the target purely based on CVD, unless we move up here and then CVD goes up and you form bearish CVD. Then we could counter the move and get momentum back to the downside. So not an easy indicator to trade. The basics are very simple and people think it is too simple, but it does get complex at times. Okay. Right. Let's go back here into the price of Bitcoin. Also, I just want to share this again with everyone. I did pin a comment here at the beginning of the chat. I really love Mexi, guys, because they have the lowest fees. What did I do? Right. I really like Mexi because they have the lowest fees. Go down into the description right now for my community. 20% reduction in fees for Bybit. And insane low fees on Mexi. I love them for scalping to the upside and to the downside. 20k bonus, lowest fees, link down in the description. Go sign up and trade with good risk management. Okay. Right, where is my charts? Let's go back to the harmonics. Let's go through some comments, see if these just enter want to learn. Perfect. Okay, let me take a sip of water and then we go through the other one harmonic. And we can jump through some alts. If you guys would like me to look through some alts, I know I've got Ocean here on the list. I'll go look at that now. Okay. Right, the next harmonic, very similar, okay, is switch this one off. And we do this. Okay, next harmonic is... Let's go see what it's called. I think it's the crab. Let me go grab that file that I have here somewhere. Okay, the crab harmonic. No, it is the bat. Right. Very similar levels to the Gartley. Very similar, as you can see, 382, 886, 382, 886, 382, 50%, 1.618. There's the difference. This one is a 50% FIB level to the 382 FIB level. This one is the 0.618, and then the D point is the interesting part where it can hit the 0.88, where the Gartley can hit the 786 only. Okay, so this is basically the biggest difference between these two harmonics for me. Now, translating this back into the price of Bitcoin is to say that when you take a fib from the top to the bottom of this wave, okay, you get the 0.88. So there is still a possibility that if we do bounce here on the daily, we find support and we go and make another high and we claim the 0.88, okay? And you can see this B point is between the 618 and the 50% FIB level. So there's a good chance that either the BAT It's the bat or the Gartley can play out, where the bat is a little bit higher, but the same result. Okay, exactly the same rules like I've just explained to you, where you want to take profits, taking a fib from the C to wherever the wick is going to end. Let's just put it on the 0.88, and you can also see here by the 618 is where you start taking profits as from a TP1 perspective. So still a reversal pattern nonetheless, where you have an A, B, C to the downside. What I like about the bat pattern is that when you have a corrective structure like an A, B, C, B waves, okay, from an Elliott wave perspective, love the 0.88 level. They just love it. Okay, it's a very common B wave target, where these targets are also B wave targets, but the 0.88, a very common B wave target, and this is why I like this bat pattern more than the Gartley at the moment. Okay, hope that makes sense. Right. And this also coincides with this contracting diagonal that I have here. So let's just take this harmonic out the way, clean up the chart a little bit over here. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of a drop over here. If we take those lows, then the bullish CVD is invalidated. Okay, so we either reject here. Can you guys see how we're struggling to get through this level? Okay, so it could be that if we lose this area, I can tell you guys now, if we lose this area, we are most probably high probable that we are going to hit this level over here. Okay, there's a high probability if we lose this area, we're going to come tumbling down until we smack down at this level. And then we'll have to see what happens. We either go back up or we retest this area. So you break down, you retest it, and you continue the momentum to the downside, making a lower high. So you're changing market structure. Okay. Cool. So, but still, from a bat perspective, it also coincides with if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And perhaps you can even tap the top of the channel over here with a wick like we had here, that little wick. You have a wick that grabs the liquidity, failing to break through the daily. You perhaps have an SFP and you come tumbling down. Okay. So that is from a bat perspective. Right. For me, like I've mentioned yesterday during my stream as well, for me to remain bullish or for me to switch bullish, at the moment, I'm still feeling bearish because this price action still looks bearish to me. Okay. But it's not to say that I can long. I actually played along this morning when we broke through the daily, right? When I saw this, when we broke through the daily and we closed a solid candle above, I placed a long on Mexi, one of my favorite exchanges. And we got nice little momentum here. And I took profits as we hit the 786 because I could see that the 786 has been offering great resistance. And this is where I took profits. Okay, closed my position. And yeah, we could potentially be coming down here to test. We haven't tested this level yet. Okay, usually when you break through a daily level, you come back, you retest it as support, and then you continue. So we have to consider that we haven't retested that daily yet. So if we had to come back down and we fail to break through here, okay, we even have those little wicks to the downside, we could continue up and come and claim the 0.88 level. Okay, I want to see us lose this area. Lose the support, break the trend to come down to 382. Okay. I want to go on to, I think the 1 hour should be fine. Let's zoom out here a little bit. The other thing that I wanted to show you for more confluence is that if I switch on volume on the side, okay, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with VRP. VRP just shows you where the most volume was traded inside of this structure. And if you zoom out, it will obviously give you more volume that was traded inside the entire structure. But what I do like is that when I zoom in to the volume, and these volume spikes over here, these little volume spikes over here offer great resistance and support areas. Okay, all these little volume spikes. And usually when volume dries out like this, you will often find that price just falls through it or breaks through it very easily. And when there's high volume if price had to come back down here, it's going to struggle to break through this 50% fib level. Okay, it's because of this extreme high volume node over here. And that's why I also mentioned during my YouTube update this morning that although the target for this harmonic is here, I will start taking profits over here already because of this insane volume over here. Although there's a high probability when you break down, you will bounce, you will retest the scene of the crime, making a lower high for continuation and coming to grab this level. So I just want to see when we get the bounce, what is going to happen. Do we build up massive bullish CVD, or is price really struggling and then it cools over and it falls down? Okay. What else? Okay, that is basically what I'm watching on Bitcoin over here. And the one thing the last thing I wanted to point out here is that we do have a high volume node exactly in confluence with the 0.88 as well. So if the bat pattern is going to play out and we find strength here to the upside, we have to break through this high volume node with high volume, and then we still have a daily level here on top as well that we have to compete with. Okay, so there is still a high chance that you get a small little rejection for continuation to the upside. I am expecting how can I say it, a little bit of a rejection. So if it's not the rejection that's going to do that, I am expecting some sort of reaction over here. Perhaps you test the trend again and you continue the momentum to the upside. Okay, but definitely you can have a scalp, or you could leave some of the position open for lower levels to come, even coming to claim this daily right here by let's say $62,000. Okay, let's talk about the 2 or 3 alts that I added to my spot bags. Okay, and then we can jump into Ocean. Right. First up is I looked at GMT, and I know it's not a new coin. It's by all means it's not a new coin, but I didn't have GMT in my spot bags. Okay, I did some research. I really like what I saw. Yes, there was some FUD in the past, but I mean, which altcoin doesn't have FUD in the past? As long as they've overcome it. And it looks good from a technical perspective, I'm very happy. So I did some research on GMT. This is my research, and please do your own research before you just buy a coin. You know, I'm just telling you what I am doing. I did some research. I'm happy with what I saw, and I'm happy with where price is at the moment. And as you can see, this is why I liked it. Personally, for me, this is why I like this coin, is that this just looks like a straight line, okay, compared to this. It just looks like the longer, you know, there's a rule in trading that people refer to, or a saying in trading to say the longer the consolidation, the more aggressive the breakout. Okay, the longer the consolidation, more aggressive the breakout. The shorter the consolidation, the shorter the breakout. Okay, and this just looks absolutely insane from a technical perspective, where we only now finally starting to see life again. Right, so looking at the daily time frame over here, it looks, and this is why I added it to my spot bags. This is not a leverage trade, 10x leverage. This is a spot trade for me. And if we come back lower, I will still keep on adding to my spot bags. So zooming into the price structure over here, right? So when you do this, now this looks like, but it's already pumped here to the upside. I mean, compared to what I've just shown you, it hasn't done much. Right, okay. So the one thing I have noticed is that we are still holding trend. Momentum is still to the upside. We haven't lost market structure. Tick number 1, okay. Tick number 2, it looks good from a daily perspective when I zoom out. It looks great from a weekly perspective that I also saw. The fundamentals I am happy with. And also, we have not even claimed the Jan highs over here, right? I like coins. I really like coins that have not claimed the December or the Jan highs in this area as yet. You can see we tried and we found resistance by the 0.618 level. Okay, so I like the coins that are still here, not the coins that are here already. Okay, and this is why I ordered GMT, or I added GMT to my spot bags, and I'm still expecting at least a target of the 1.618. For those of you that's been following me, you know exactly why I like these levels. 1.618, okay, TP2, TP3, TP4, TP5, okay. And I mean, these TP points for me are still extremely conservative. If I take a ruler from where we are right now to this one, that's 83 or 84%. That is 163%, 240%, 317%, and let's call it a 4x to hit the 5.618 level. And this looks extremely like you're smoking your socks. How can you expect the coin to pump like that? Because I'm telling you guys, looking at this structure, these levels look highly achievable, and we are not even claiming the all-time high if I am taking profits at these levels. Okay. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so that is coin number one. Let me know in the comments if you guys do like GMT, if you're familiar with it, and I really like it. Cool. What's also interesting to me is that the 618 levels correspond with resistances, okay, to the upside. You can see, look at this, beautiful support. Then you lose support, you retest it, and you find momentum to the downside. So definite confluence with resistance above. 2618 has confluence with these highs. 3618 has confluence with the underbelly of this resistance, and the 4618 has confluence with the upper belly of this resistance over here. So the levels just make sense for me. I always try, when I draw my fib expansions to the upside, I always look to the left to see if there's confluence to the left, which gives me confidence that the structure that I pulled over here, I've drawn correctly, because often people draw this incorrectly, where the 618 levels has no confluence with anything to the left, which tells me that they've drawn it incorrectly, they've measured it wrong. Okay, so you need to test yourself and just do some, what do they call it? Devil advocate yourself. Okay, cool. Next up on the list is DYM. Okay, most of you, I don't know if you guys heard about DYM. I did some research. I really like what I read. Still a new coin. Well, from a Binance perspective and some of the exchanges, I can't really find a lot more data, but you can see, I mean, it has data here only from 6th of Feb 2024. I do like the fundamentals a lot, and I also like that we are inside a descending. Is it a descending or ascending? Okay, one of those two, triangle. Okay, I do like that we are holding the support over here. Let me do that. Okay, I do like that we are holding the support, not losing the support over here, right? Buying power. This is buying power, buy, people buying. Okay, it falls back, buy, right? And yeah, to me, this is a great load up zone. If we come back into this zone, that's where I'll add a little bit more to my spot bags, expecting a breakout here to the upside at some point. So just keep this momentum line here in check. Okay. Right, so not much more here on DMT, or DYM, sorry, on DYM. This is what I'm currently watching on DYM. It looks good. I like the fundamentals, and it's now part of my spot bags. I do see some little bit of volume starting to creep in here, so I do like that. And let's go to the next one. KSM looks great on the graph. Yes, it does. It really does look. Nags, it really does look great. What happened to Polkadot? No movement. Yes, Polkadot and a couple of the layer ones are still standing still. What's interesting to me, I'm not sure if you guys read on Twitter. I've got a couple of news articles over here. Just wanted to, where is my Polkadot one? Was it here somewhere? Yes, that research that Albert, was it Albert? No. Alistair, that also spoke about, here is the merge with the Ocean Protocol, and yeah, so I was reading this today, but there was something else about, I just don't have that article open here at the moment. Anyways, doesn't matter. Let's go back into Bitcoin, or the alts over here. Next up is Vanry. I think that's how you say it, Vanry. Okay. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. VanRe, guys. Have you looked at VanRe? Does anyone know about VanRe? I discovered it today. My researcher sent it to me. And I was like, ooh, it looks good. It looks really, really good. I like it. I like it. It's been dead. I see a straight line over there. I don't have any data to the left to compare it against. But what I do like is this. People might say I'm crazy. Why do you like straight lines? Because the longer the straight line, the bigger the explosion to the upside. Okay. I keep it simple. I keep trading very simple for myself. What I also like about the structure over here is this looks like a wave 1. This to me looks like a wave. It started waking up here. It started waking up. You can see it's like, got shocked with the paddles. The heartbeat started going here again, and then it made a wave 1, and it made a correction. And now it looks like it's busy with a third wave. Okay. And this is why this looks good. Fundamentals to me look good. I am very bullish on VanRe in the long term. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to go to 1.618 today, this week, even this month. I'm just saying I've added it to my spot bags. I'm still expecting upwards momentum. And I do like red candles to the downside because that is where I add to my bags. And I expect these highs over here to hold as support, even this consolidation area over here. Or better yet, when you take a fib from the lows to the highs, you drag it across, your 618 and 786 are always great buying zones when you're adding from a larger time frame perspective. Okay, but I really like it. I really, really like it. VanRe, you look really good. And also when I go here onto the 4 hour, let's see what happens, what it looks like over here. This is also part of the reason I bought in, is that I like the personality of this coin from a technical perspective. What do I mean by that? Why on earth do you like the personality of the coin? Have you met it? Have you had a date? This is why I like it, okay? When I look at the impulses and the corrective structures, what it likes to do, okay? Ooh, I might have to zoom in here to show you guys. Okay. What VanRe likes to do is that, let me do this. Let's go on to the 1 hour. I want to show you guys the levels properly. Okay, here we go. Let's zoom in here. Okay, this was the impulse. This was the impulse. This was the correction. Look how short the impulses are and how long the corrections are. You have a 4-to-1 ratio. You have an extremely short impulse and you have a very long corrective structure. But then I see it rhymes. The coin rhymes. You have a short impulse and you have a long corrective structure. You have a short impulse, long correction. Short impulse, long correction. You guys, you're starting to get the picture over here. And then when I look at this structure over here, this is now what I like. You have a short impulse to the upside and you have a long correction. Okay, so it's balancing. Impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction. So it looks like the correction is finished. Now we're getting the explosion to the upside, which could mean that you're going to get an explosion to the upside and a long correction. So that's why I like the personality of the coin. It looks like I can read it. I can almost predict what it's going to do next. Okay, so I am expecting that after this impulse to the upside, we're going to have yet again a long correction. So I'll be patient with this coin. But the reason I liked and I bought it this morning is because when I saw the impulse over here and I saw the long correction and I saw us bouncing here on this trend and we have broken this trend, I was like, whew, I cannot not add this. Like, it looks beautiful. Okay, hope that makes sense. Next up, PYR. Andy, how are you doing? Go Demo, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Guys, I am going to put Andy's link down in the description. For my community members, if you do not know who Andy is, he's an absolute crazy maniac that trades ranges like I've never seen anyone trade ranges. He's an absolute legend. I've learned a lot from Andy as well from a risk management perspective. And I will put a link to his YouTube channel down in the description when I'm done here. I will put a link for Andy's YouTube channel. Please go and follow him if you're not following him. And I know a lot of people here know Andy, but if you don't, please go and check out Andy's channel. I think if you want to go search for him on YouTube, Andy Bitcoin Sensors, you will find Andy the legend over there. Right. So let's just finish the alpha over here. The last coin that I looked at is PYR. Right, let's go on to the daily. And, I guess I don't have to repeat myself. Guys, look at this. I like this. I really like this. Okay. This almost equals this. Okay, long consolidation, nice breakout for the future potential. Okay, but now I zoom into this structure over here, and this is how I'm currently seeing the price action over here. This is potentially a 1, 2, and we are busy with a third impulse to the upside. It can also be finished where this is an A, B, C, and we're going to find further continuation to the downside. I don't mind. This is a spot bag buy for me. So from the low to the high over here, I will definitely be adding to my spot bags if we get down here. Already tapped the 50%. 618, I'm adding. Right, 786, I'm adding. Nice consolidation area over here that will provide support. But this 618 level looks good. It offered great support over here. We dipped below and found acceptance back above. So if we had to come back down, 618 level is definitely an area that I will load up. But for now, the market structure still looks intact. So when I take a trend line from the bottom, just, normal basic trend, as long as we hold this trend, we can still find upwards momentum without coming back down to the 618 level. Right. So also, I'm still targeting the 618, so profit taking area, $21, $28, $34, $40. Okay, from a spot perspective, I will definitely be taking profits on the way up. Right, and don't get trapped into the greediness of not taking profits on the way up, and then the peak of the bull market hits and you didn't cash out. The bear market is in full force and you are sitting with bags that you don't want to cash out anymore. Right, let's go through some comments. Could you go into 2x Vanry right now? Or would you only go in with spot? I've only bought spot. Let me see. Vanry, you said Vanry. Let's go Vanry. No, it's pumped too much. I will not do 2x at the moment. When a coin has left the station, I do not go 2x. Right. If you have a good risk management, by all means, apply good risk management. But I like to buy coins inside of the consolidation or the correction zone. That is where I will build a swing position at 2x leverage, maybe 3x, but often 1.5, 2x leverage. This is where I build the swing position. When it's left the station like that, spot buys, baby. It's only spot buys for me. Yeah, so, this was the best area to buy from a swing trade perspective. Okay, Ocean. Let's go through Ocean and then I'm going to wrap it up. Quickly want to go through Ocean. I do have Ocean here somewhere. I just need to find the Ocean. Smell the Ocean. There we go. Ocean, baby. Ooh, wow. Let's go into the 12 over here. Let's see what's happening. I have analyzed this a while back. Beautiful breakout over here. Okay. Wave 1, that's such a clear wave 1. Look at this beautiful wave 1 over here. Wave 1, 2, 3 here to the upside. So if I take a fib expansion, beautiful wave 1, 2. Oof. This thing has been rocketing. It just smashed through the 618 level over here like it didn't exist. And we got rejection. We got a rejection here by the 2.618. Massive rejection back to the 1.618 level. And then we just started flying back up. Okay, currently at the 4 level, okay, and consolidating around the 3618 level. So can you guys see third waves, how they just love the 618 targets? Okay, that's why this will only be a TP1 for me on most of my altcoins, because I know that they can go to higher levels. I know that, right? And yeah, definitely Ocean is not something that I will build a swing position or add to my spot bags right now while it's pumping. I want to see a correction. I want to see a correction. So just quickly to show you guys here, what I'm waiting for on Ocean is very straightforward. I see an impulse and I see a correction. I see an impulse, a correction, an impulse, a correction. So I am waiting for the correction. That is potentially where I will get in again. I do not buy when I see this. There's just no ways in hell that I'm buying a green dildo to the a green candle to the upside. Right. Cool. As always, guys, please go down in the description, sign up with Mexi, come trade with me. Also link in the comments for you guys for easy access. I will leave a link to Andy's YouTube channel also down in the description. Thanks for watching. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Until the next one. Cheers for now.